Thor: Love and Thunder director Taika Waititi is at it again. This time he is talking about his Star Wars film, saying it is going to piss people off. Let's get into this here. While speaking with Variety while promoting his Next Goal Wins film, Waititi confirmed the movie, quote, will be, dramatic pause, a Taika Waititi film. He then allegedly added with a laugh, it's going to piss people off. I don't think it's going to piss anyone off because no one's going to go see it, and I doubt this film will ever actually get made, given the fact that it was announced back in 2020. Let's actually go through a timeline of this movie. Waititi's Star Wars film was announced back in May 4, 2020 by the official Star Wars website. The site posted Academy Award winner Taika Waititi, who recently won Best Adapted Screenplay for Jojo Rabbit, and directed the widely acclaimed first season finale episode of The Mandalorian on Disney+, will direct and co-write a new Star Wars feature film for theatrical release. The site added joining Waititi on the screenplay will be Academy Award nominee Krysty Wilson-Cairns, who received a BAFTA Award for Outstanding British Film of the Year on the three-time Oscar-winning film 1917. In 2022, Waititi provided an update to the New York Times, telling the outlet, I'm trying to write the Star Wars idea at the moment. I've got to see how that goes, because once I submit it, that might determine when it gets made, or if it gets made even. He added, I'm cool as well to take 6 months off and just go hang out with my kids. So clearly not a big priority for him, and he even says that it might not even get made. Back in March, he was asked about rumors that he might be starring in the film as well as writing it. He informed Deadline, yeah, that rumor's about 3 years old. All I'll say is, God forbid I make a Star Wars film about people sitting on mountains playing flutes. When Deadline's Dominic Patton informed him, well, they kind of went there with the last few Star Wars movies with Luke Skywalker. Waititi replied, okay, then I won't do that for sure. I mean, I really don't think he's even been starting writing it. It doesn't even seem like he's taking this job seriously. In May, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy informed Empire magazine that Waititi was having issues with a third act. She said, Taika is working away. He's just, and he won't get mad at me for saying this, slow. We've got a couple of acts. We need a third. However, in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter at the end of May, Waititi detailed he was struggling with the middle of the movie, not the third act. He said, I've got a really good idea for it. It's just as with all films, it's this middle part. You're like, what's going to happen? And then you look at all of those films that are so great. You're like, well, I guess they can't meet some smuggler with an alien sidekick. He went on to note the film's script was not a top priority. For the most part, I would like to take a few holidays and go and follow Rita around, just be her little tour toy boy and hang out with her and just watch her perform and get her a cup of tea backstage. In September, Waititi also admitted he had not finished his script while presenting Sean Levy an award at the Toronto International Film Festival Tribute Awards. He said after Levy has had his way with that franchise like a cruel, indiscriminate virus, he'll move on to another and another and another. He's talking about Stranger Things. And then eventually probably Star Wars. Waititi then admitted, unlike me, I hope he manages to finish a script for that. So even in September, he was saying he had not finished a script, and that had been over 3 years. I mean, 2020 was when they first announced this. And then earlier this month, he informed Business Insider, it's still marinating. I've been writing it. However, he noted he has quite a bit lined up before he moves forward with it, informing the outlet he wants to do an adaptation of Clara and the Sun as his next film, and he also wants to adapt Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Incal graphic novel. Waititi's comment about the film pissing people off should come as no surprise. He also promised he would ruin Thor's mythos with Thor: Love and Thunder. He tweeted back in 2019, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. The movie received a 6.2 out of 10 from IMDb users and a 76% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Promise clearly delivered. So again, I don't think he's really going to be pissing anyone off because no one's really going to go see it. Lucasfilm has destroyed the Star Wars brand. People aren't tuning in. They're seeing declining viewership on Disney Plus now. They haven't put out a movie since The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. Every kind of film that they have announced has not come to fruition. The Rian Johnson trilogy, nowhere to be seen. The Dan and Dave Game of Thrones movies, nowhere to be seen. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, nowhere to be seen. The James Mangold Origin of the Force story, nowhere to be seen. Dave Filoni's Mandalorian verse movie, nowhere to be seen. Even the Daisy Ridley Ray movie, we really haven't seen any movement on that since it was announced back in April either. Obviously, the strike was taking place, but we'll even see if that gets made. I just don't have any faith in what they're doing. And as I've said about Marvel, no one wants to go see this stuff. You cannot save Star Wars while they're embracing this woke ideology, which they have made abundantly clear they have been doing all the way since 2015, when Kathleen Kennedy made it clear that they were going to try and turn the brand into a female brand, and they were doing that by hiring a bunch of women to run the show at Lucasfilm, as well as telling the types of stories that they wanted to tell that would be female-centered. And as we've seen, it has ruined the Star Wars brand.
Subscribe for more.